I'm at this place in my life where there's not one essence of security. There is not one thing in my entire world that is guaranteed. I've stripped everything away to this place of absolute trust and moving moment to moment. This is absolutely on purpose. It is part of the purpose of a spiritual awakening to get you out of the separation from what you want, because union with that thing cannot stabilize when you are stuck in old identity frameworks that are built on any sort of need for safety, control, or certainty. And that's where I am, coming to this whole new identity of absolute trust in who I am. I watched K-pop Demon Hunters when I was on holiday with my children this week, and it almost brought me to tears because it felt like I was being shown this stupid kids movie on purpose as this girl, she realizes these demons. She has all these patterns on her arms that make her different. She's classed as demonic, but she ultimately accepts who she is. She accepts all of who she is, expressed through her heart. She's not one of the demons. She's not part of the darkness, right? She pulls through her own light, and it's different, and we're all different. I've realized recently that, as much as I've lent beautifully into my divine feminine energy, and I've found this beautiful flow and femininity that I never had before, you still could never take me away from a kickboxing bag where I'll turn feral, right? It's like, it's me, it's who I am, it's these different parts of me, like the color white, a whole spectrum of things that are all okay. They're all okay. They're all right. They're more than all right. And all we're meant to do is love ourselves. And when you get to that place of deep self-love, deep self-acceptance, you can stand strong without anything sure around you anymore. Whether that's an attachment to an outcome, a self-image, or an idea of what love should look like. All of those things vibrate at a denser frequency, and they belong to our personality, not to our soul's essence. When you can step into the complete unknown, no safety nets, no control, no projections. And by that, I mean, you're not projecting anything from the past or from the desired future. You surrender the last layer of your egoic mind that is trying to control love. Love is. You can't help what you love. You can't help who you love. And that's when alchemy happens. That's where presence becomes power. That's where creation enters the material realm. And quantum creation is where we are not deciding what we are creating anymore. The soul is. The soul's essence, the soul's truth, the truth of who you are will be matched and it will be perfect. But matter is always going to bow to mystery, and you have to get comfortable with mystery first. And that's why, if you're trying to manifest at the moment, maybe you saw my latest short where I said I manifested a holiday within 12 hours, a 1.2 million house on the beach for a week for free. I did it within 12 hours of setting the intention. I want to go on holiday. That is the power. That is the quantum creation. I didn't choose where I was going on holiday. I didn't choose how I was going on holiday. I didn't visualize. It was nothing to do with my mindset. I simply let control go. I let it go, always, like I do with everything. You might say, well, I am in surrender. I am letting go. I'm practicing letting go. But you can really answer that question when you look at every area of your life. Control is restraint. Like, do you still hold back? Do you still question when you wave your card over a pay wave or come to make a final decision? Do you be frugal in how you go and do your shopping? Are you making decisions based on lack anywhere about yourself, even? You know, maybe you'll choose not to go where you'll see a certain person because you don't think that you look good enough that day. That's control, that's restraint, that's lack. Lack gets hidden. Lack is in a million disguises, and you got to start looking for them. It's the fear of letting go. You know, like, what are you holding on to with a tight grasp, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, a situation, the way your business runs, your products, your services. Every time you hold on to control like this, your Eros is being contained because you don't trust what will happen if you just fucking let it go. If you just fucking let it go, let it flow, right? You don't trust yourself. You don't trust pure creation, your creative power. You're managing your desire. You're holding back. You're fearing that if you relax, if you let your guard down, you'll lose power or you'll lose love. But here's the paradox: what you cannot yet allow yourself, unguarded joy, playful surrender, your desires, your true desires, devotion to something that you love without the condition of security or safety being placed upon it. That is the exact doorway that your soul is aching for. Control equals fear. If you are controlling anything, anywhere, in any way, you still have fear-based energy. And with fear-based energy, you'll never, ever manifest what you want to. You'll never quantum create. But surrendering the egoic mind completely that is trying to manage your love, that will lead to creation. And your own sacred sexuality is the bridge. So in sacred sexuality, we have two energies within. We have our masculine energy and we have our feminine energy. And the two merge, the two are in this beautiful dance together. So anywhere that your own masculine energy is controlling or forceful, it's out of balance. And it's like your inner masculine's longing for play, for freedom, for unguarded surrender. Balanced masculine energy, as I have found navigating my own masculine energy, is it's fucking playful. It's cheeky, and it's also absolutely devoted to our feminine energy within as well. So whether you're a man or a woman, you have both these energies, and they both have the same innate qualities. And one of the innate qualities of your masculine energy is it's always going to hold space for the feminine energy to flow. And this is why it can't be controlling. This is why it can't be forceful, right? It's not out there, it's not pushing out there. It's holding here. It's holding you here now in full presence, in unguarded surrender, in full trust. So that the joy flows, right? The love flows. The creation happens through that joy and through that love. And joy, love are magnetic. This is why it is possible to get paid to exist, which is what I'm experiencing right now. You know, I'm not, like I said, I've let go of every single guaranteed route of income. There are no contracts. There are no ongoing services. There is simply fucking flow in the moment, love and devotion in the moment. It's huge. It's massive, but it's powerful. It's true creative power when these energies are in balance. The feminine energy knows how to open. She knows how to receive. She transmutes the masculine's playful, cheeky, devotional energy into joy and creation and love. So a big part of sacred sexuality is trust. It is the process of learning to be childlike again, light, playful, curious. And if you're honest, that is probably going to bring up a lot of stuff, right? That's going to bring up all those moments in childhood that you were scolded for being irresponsible, for being too curious. Curiosity kills the cat, right? For getting it wrong, putting yourself out there, for being absolutely in your heart and, yeah, getting it wrong, being scolded, being hurt, being punished, being imprinted with the brain command that you're not good enough when you're unguarded. You're not safe when you're unguarded. Keep that guard up. And, a big way in which we guard up is around love. We've probably all experienced relationships where one has taken from the other, and you've let that guard down, and you've been used, abused, mistreated. But again, the true feminine frequency has so much fucking trust and love, unconditional love, that she will never deplete the masculine energy. She will never take advantage of that space being held. She would never take from her divine masculine. But yes, she also has power. She's like the high priestess sat on her throne, right? Knowing it's okay to receive, knowing it's okay to accept love, to receive love, receiving, magnifying the Eros into devotion, creation, and abundance. When these two beautiful energies in balance merge, and they can only merge in balance, they purify us. So, all this work that you're doing as part of your manifestation, all this belief clearing, all of this mindset stuff, your own energy can do that for you. Like a fire will burn through all that stuff. It will strip away your fear of abandonment, your fear of rejection, every fear that's got that guard up. But here's the thing, it will reveal the alchemy of Eros to you, the creative current that is abundance itself. None of this can happen when you are locked in control. All of this can happen when you surrender into joy, when you allow that Eros to move. So I'm going to share a process, a physical somatic process for you to do that in just a moment. But I wanted to make the point, I guess you could say, that lust isn't the same as Eros. So Eros isn't hunger. Eros isn't craving to fill a hole. Eros is not the endless appetite to consume. It is not the primal instinct that comes from a fear of lack, essentially. Eros always moves from fullness, from nothing lacking. It's playful, it's radiant, it's overflowing. Lust will always leave you empty, whereas Eros will reveal to you that you were always whole. That whole spectrum, like the color white, all the colors, all the things that you were scolded for being, told not to love, told were wrong, all of it. You're all of it. That is unconditional love. So I want to give you 5 somatic practices today that are going to allow this Eros to move. These practices might reveal to you places where your energy is stuck, where you have physical pain, and by default, they're showing you where you're controlling your desire, your emotions, and your need to do it right, rather than just letting love flow through your body. So the first practice is hip spirals. You're going to sit in, a cross-legged position. And this is where we're opening the root and the sacral. And you basically just go around in a spiral. So we do this in yoga. I'm not sure what it's called. It is a Kundalini practice in yoga, I think. And it is releasing stuck sexual energy. So you might actually start to feel that turned on feeling, and that's completely normal. The idea is to not manage the outcome of that, or force it, or you're simply just allowing energy to move. So for 2 to 3 minutes, you are going to spiral your hips, put some music on. I have some beautiful tracks on my Awakened Wealth app in the paid area of the app, which is called the Quantum Leap Portal. I'll talk about that at the end. And after you've done the circular movements for 2 to 3 minutes, you're then going to go to a pulse. So this is where you are basically pulsing the hips. You can use, if you want to bring your breath into each movement, and I recommend with the spirals that you do as well, you can give a little squeeze on your pelvic floor. So you're going to be fastening the breath as well. So if you have a very dysregulated nervous system, this is going to become uncomfortable quite fast. If it becomes uncomfortable quite fast, then you're definitely going to want to check out my app at the end. But we're basically pulsing the hips for another 2 to 3 minutes, using the pump, using the breath. And then after 2 to 3 minutes, you can start to bring a sound, a vibration into your exhale. Aha. And the breath, when you really get into the rhythm of it, there is actually no forced exhale. It is that you are focusing on your exhale, and the exhale is the focused breath, and the inhale then comes naturally. And you're creating a pump of your sexual energy, which is beginning to move it. We then want to stand. I'm not going to stand because I'm in a tiny house and I'll hit the roof, but you're going to then stand up and you are going to get into like a shake, a full body shake, like an ecstatic shake. And this is where, like, once we've like exhaled all of this control, got this energy moving around, we're going to just help the body to dissolve all of those patterns, right? And then we're going to finish sat back down with the next an alternate nostril breath, which is putting your middle finger in the middle of your head, your third eye, closing off one nostril, breathing in through the other. Close that nostril down, open the other, breathe out. Breathe in through that same nostril and out through the other nostril. And you're going to do that for 5 minutes to finish. That is where the masculine and feminine energies come into beautiful balance, and you basically restore this deep presence. So this isn't movement, it's alchemy. It's powerful sexual alchemy, or it's a sexual alchemy process. Sexual alchemy isn't a practice, it is a way of life. You are teaching your nervous system how to transmute control by letting go physically, by allowing desire, by allowing love, by allowing movement. And you're taking your projections into presence. When you can fully embody presence, abundance literally has no choice but to arrive. So if this video has landed for you, if you would like to, get out of those survival loops, those controlling loop patterns, that are just keeping you cycling, that, constantly seeing your effort as a transaction to your outcomes when it isn't. If you're ready to give up controlling, proving, whatever it is that you're doing, living your life as a performance to whatever fucking fears that you're ready to kick out. And you're ready to let love lead, joy lead. Live in what I call the pleasure principle, hashtag the pleasure principle, where you're embracing and embodying true creative freedom, where the universe is creating with you, quantum creation, where you have no idea how what you want is going to show up, but you trust that it will always. You have no doubts, no fear, and you're experiencing awakened wealth, which isn't all the shiny things that life has taught you to chase. It is the abundance of love that is already here, and pulling in, magnetizing the parts, the pieces that are most equal to you, to you and your soul's essence, to you and your truth. If this is you, then your next step is my Awakened Wealth app, which has an accompanying book, Awaken Your Miracle Frequency. It is easier than you think to have it all. And inside this frequency toolkit of the book and the app, I give you everything that you need, the tools, the perspective shifts, and the practices to keep deepening into presence over projection, and to make your love, your true desire, your joy, the foundation of every creation from here forward. The app is your daily anchor to keep you in this miracle frequency. There are practices for the breath, sound medicine, quantum practices to help you live from your miracle field, your miracle frequency field, always, where you begin to realize that miracles don't need to be manifested because they just appear. If you're ready, all the links are below in the description. And remember that phrase, matter always bows to mystery. And if you can reach that highest place of consciousness, where all those dense energies of your fear are no longer pulling you down, life is going to rise to meet you.